Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Mateo Chavez-Lewis. I'm a professional musical director and musical theater composer, splitting my time right now between here in Toronto and New York City. I was recently in New York City at Broadway Con, where I was moderating a couple of panels and hosting a booth alongside David Bankoff from thebroadwaymaven.com. Check him out if you don't know his work. But something that happened at Broadway Con that I was not aware of until after it had happened, which is incredibly unfair, is that Joy Woods from The Notebook came to Broadway Con to do a surprise performance of My Days, which is the song that she's become rightfully very, very famous for singing because she sings it so frickin' well. So today, we're going to look at the video of that performance so that I can experience it, which I didn't get to experience live, even though I was literally in the building while it was happening. How unfair is that? Okay, here we go. Shout out to B-Way Show for capturing this and making this recording available to us on YouTube. God bless. Here we go.
Where am I going? Is it somewhere that I want to go? And when I get there...
Look how still she is at the beginning of this song. She's conserving all of her energy for the end. And I think that's a really valuable lesson for young performers. I think that we all have a tendency to do too much at the beginning of the song when total stillness is very, very powerful.
Is that where happy is? Or is it somewhere I already know? Sometimes I feel like I cry without a noise. Sometimes I feel like somebody chose my choice.
So already you can notice in this beginning verse, she's going to get very, very high, right? She's gonna sing an F sharp, spoiler alert, twice later in the song, but she's not there, right? Right now she's down here. Sometimes I feel like I lost my only voice. But the thing is, she's singing in the same placement that she's going to end up singing the high note on. She's singing totally relaxed here, and with a lot of focused and buzzing sound right here in the mask. Sometimes I feel like I lost my only choice. Instead of like, sometimes I feel, she's not pressing on the voice at all. That's allowing her to find that placement that she's going to need for the climax of the song. So she's already, in this moment, preparing herself for the climax. Like, do you hear that resonance? My days. It's right up here. It's not my days. Right? She doesn't drop the larynx at all. She keeps it very focused. Woo! She's so good. Two kinds of onsets that she's using. The first one, if I were to do it in a key that works for me, the first one is like a little bit of almost a vocal fry onset. I have to run away. And the second one is like an aspirate onset where there's a little cry into the sound. I have to sit and stay. So each I sounds different because that onset of the sound is different. And I think that this is very, very effective in two ways. The first thing is that it gives the ear something new to listen to. It builds up the emotion because there's a new sound happening, even though the singer is singing the same word on the same melody. One right after the other. But also, I think that vocally, it's a really smart choice to set herself up for success in the future of the song, because when she starts with that almost like vocal fry sound, it forces her to keep the sound kind of small. She's not spreading, and she's not giving in to the temptation to go, again in my key, she's not filling up her whole apparatus with the sound, because that wouldn't be sustainable through to the end of the song. Instead, she's keeping it very focused, and that very focused kind of vocal fry onset, it's very subtle, so she's not hurting her voice, but it helps her to find that focus. And then the second one, that cry sound, that forces her to send a lot of air through. So it forces her to keep the breath moving. I have to sit and stay. That cry sound makes the breath move faster. So we get the first onset, which is helping her find her placement. The second onset is helping her find her breath support, helping her move the air through the sound. And both of those things are going to be helpful when she gets to that F sharp. And I think that planning this song in this way, which I think she does, I think she sings it the exact same way, these two onsets being different every single time, at least that I've heard, it feels like that's, I don't know, maybe I'm making that up, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think she sings it this way all the time, and if she does, that would tell me that she made that choice consciously with a musical director or maybe with her voice coach, and that it is intentionally to set herself up for the climax, because when she's singing this on Broadway, she just did, a 2-hour show where she had to sing a bunch of other stuff, and now she has to get ready to sing this big climax, and this is helping her kind of warm up for that when she doesn't have a chance to go back to the dressing room and, do her vocal trills right before the song because she's playing a character. Such a powerful moment there because of the key change. We were in C major, now we're going up to D major, so we're jumping up a full tone. But it's also powerful because of her technique, right? She's not spreading, she's not using a big, huge sound. She's really taking advantage of the microphone and making sure that the sound is resonant and focused, prioritizing that over prioritizing volume, which means that she's not pushing. It's actually quite a small sound. It sounds very powerful because it's so resonant, but it's actually not a very loud sound, and I imagine without the microphone, I don't think this sound would project to the back of the house in the same way that like an opera kind of sound would. But that's the pop sound, right? That's the reason that we've developed this new kind of pop sound in music, is because we now have microphones. We can sing in a different way that where projection is not the priority, and so we don't have to push our voice, which means we can actually belt a lot higher because we're keeping it small, and actually it's a much quieter sound than you think. So if you're a singer and you're trying to belt those high notes and those really high, powerful, loud high notes, and you're having a hard time, maybe try belting them a little bit quieter, because on Broadway you'll have a microphone. The other thing is, two other things, you can see how relaxed her jaw is, right? There's no none of that tension. The jaw just goes on its own, like the vibrato is amazing. You can see it, right? Physically with your eyes. The other thing you can physically see with your eyes, and like she blessed us as vocal students by wearing what she's wearing, because we can clearly see her diaphragm, right? Look at this. Look at her breathe. Wait, before this. Do you see how her belly physically goes, like there's so much breath coming from right down here, and that's what's giving her the ability to sustain that note. Look at that belly, like look at her diaphragm move, you can physically see it. Emphasis to that lyric, which I think is a very important lyric, and it also, because she's choosing one place to growl like that, she can do it 8 times a week and it doesn't hurt her voice. If she did that on every single note, she would start to have vocal problems. So that's the other lesson here, is that you can do things that are, quote, bad for your voice, but you have to pick your moments, so you only do them so many times. Because if you do them too many times, that's when you run into vocal problems. And there she modifies the vowel, right? Instead of apologies, it's apologize. So la-jays is almost like the exact same vowel. La-jay. And what that allows her to do is get her tongue down nice and low, raise her soft palate nice and high, so there's all this space up here. And that allows her to hold that high E. It's so high. La-jays. Come on! Literally, come on! What? It's so good! She's so good! Okay, I want to show you how she preps for that note. Look at this. Look at just her face, right? Just her face. Nothing's happening, right? She's just like, she's just feeling it. The emotion is radiating. It doesn't look like she's trying that hard. But look at her belly. She takes this massive breath, and you can see it. And that's the only way that she's going to be able to hit those notes. Like, but she's so good that you see how much she's working if you look at her belly. But if you look at her face, it's just 100% committed to the character. So somehow she's like separating her face and her facial expression from how hard physically her body is working here. It's literally like a masterclass in how to tell a good story while singing your absolute face off. It's insane. She's incredible. Look how wide her mouth goes also, so that there's all that space. But again, it's very focused up here, right? It's not, Ma! She's not trying to do that. That would be horrible to do 8 times a week. It's really focused right here in the mask. Ma! It's not back here. It's very small and focused and resonant, and that's what gives it the power, not the size, not the volume. I always tell my vocal students, focus on singing smaller and more resonant, and that will actually end up making your voice sound more powerful in the long run, because you won't be yelling and you won't be pushing. And at first it might feel counterintuitive, but that's actually how all the great Broadway singers who sing really high consistently, that's how they do it, is they sing high in a very small and focused way, and allow the pitch of the note and the resonance of the note to be the thing that makes the note sound powerful and not the literal volume. Because we've got microphones for that. She's so good! Like, it's unbelievable how good she is. Also, like, how dare she also be like an amazing dancer? Go look at videos of her dancing as well. She's like truly like the triple threat of a generation. And the fact that she wasn't nominated for a 2024 Tony Award, don't even get me started. I'll cry. She's so good. She's so good. I can't believe I missed this performance. And I was literally genuinely in the building when that happened. And I didn't see it because I didn't know what was happening. So sad. I will hopefully get to see her do the role on Broadway at some point. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you next week here on the channel. Peace out.